This beloved continent is plagued with many social issues, ranging from poverty to geriatric rulers. But its greatest assets, you and me, make me very proud to be an African. Yesterday we commemorated Africa Day, and whilst I have plenty to bemoan, I can truly say I love this continent. On It's a Wrap tonight, we take a look at recent events that have had Namibian tongues wagging. It's what I do. Real news, real talk. The powers that be have been rather mum on the SME Bank saga, with some prominent politicians having been revealed to have dipped their hands into the bank's reserves and are not paying back their loans. The people took to social media to express themselves. Sylvester posted, "We all know, we read and we can see that corruption is rampant in Namibia, and that involves people at the top levels of government and politics. Yet nothing happens to those involved. Why are Namibians so tolerant? When will we get angry?" Fisagi wrote, "It has been proven with the 650 million that disappeared at the GIPF that ACC is handicapped. Yeah, the call is on Hage now to axe or act." Chucky wrote, "The nation is every day crying, more especially we low position holders. But when it comes to taxing us, we are milked a lot, but our tax is just wasted by individual people who don't even give a single penny. Young generation, let's stand up and avoid our future lives being dumped in an even poorer condition." I asked the ACC for an interview and was given the whole, "the matter is still subject to litigation in court, so go and ask the Bank of Namibia spiel" by their PRO. Fix it, Mr. President. Another controversial matter arose recently after Commissioner Kangwachivi contradicted a report by Windhoek's self-proclaimed sheriff, Sean Nodia, on a case which we reported on last week. Check this out.
This dramatic scene was the end result of a suspected highway robbery gone wrong. Namibian Marshal Ranger Sean Nodia is still shaken by the incident of last Friday, which involved two vehicles with South African number plates being targeted in an apparent robbery.
The accident was caused by an attempted highway robbery. Now, I've spoken to several eyewitnesses and the very person who reported it, and they said they had seen people standing on the middle island of the new highway where it had been developed with stones in their hands. So what it seems like is they have a group of people that stand on the island and throw stones at the tourist vehicles. And then Commissioner Kangwachivi said,
"Of late, there is a trend of false information and false and unnecessary alarm calls to the public through social media, where people will take visuals from a different country and pretend that it to be in Namibia. They would take a riot scene that is happening in some neighboring countries in Namibia and then put it in social media, say it's on B1 or B2 or A1 road and so on. And this caused unnecessary alarm. Of recent, a member of the public was quoted in the local media as having said that two vehicles over 10, because they were being pushed by alleged robbers, and they end up overturning. To the best of the ability of the Namibian police force, these two vehicles were towing each other with a rope in a highway, and one of the driver either swerved off, causing the other vehicle to lose balance, and both vehicles ended overturned. As far as our investigation is concerned, there is no mention of any vehicle that were forcing him off the road or any other people that throw rocks afterwards.
Sean Nodia was eager to clear his name.
I assisted where I could, like we usually do as Marshal Rangers. We're there to assist. And then afterwards we also do the cleanup of the accident. I spoke to the man who was in the maroon vehicle who was involved in the accident, and he had given us his version of what had happened. And initially in my first report on One Africa TV, I turned around and said they were driving in convoy, where I misunderstood when he spoke to me in Afrikaans. They were agter mekaar, which means I found out later they were on a tow bar. not a tow rope, as the Deputy Commissioner had said. You must also understand I'm not here to go against the Deputy Commissioner. I'd just like to clarify the facts here. The fact of the matter is we were on scene, other reporters from Canal 7 and that were on scene from various places, and what was told to the officials by those involved in the accident was that they were attempted to be pulled over by a silver sedan vehicle, and when they failed to stop, these people in the silver sedan vehicle went ahead, stopped on the side of the road and threw rocks at the vehicle, and which rock went through the window, causing the driver of the vehicle in front that was towing the other one to lose control of the vehicle. Because it was on a tow bar, it obviously pulled the other vehicle with it and caused the whole flipping and rolling effect.
The great work done by the Marshall Rangers cannot be ignored. So kudos to them for trying to make this country better for all of us. Let's see what Dudley's been up to this week. The senseless killing of lions in the north recently has really upset me. I mean, that's just poaching. And these murderers should be brought to book. This South African hunter lost his life after an elephant that he killed landed on him and crushed him to death. Karma, I tell you. Another story that has gone viral is one we featured on the treatment of some workers in the construction industry. Check this out.
In the hot seat, that's what the Chinese construction company Zhongmain finds itself in. In fact, the company faces possible closure, says the Metal and Allied Namibian Workers Union, MANVO, if both work and on-site living conditions of the Namibian workers are not improved. Union representative Justina Jonas Ivula took the Zhongmain site manager on a tour of the employees' on-site living conditions to illustrate the state in which workers live.
Would you sleep here, you yourself?
No.
No, yeah?
No.
But we are allowing others to sleep here. This is a toilet of your people, whom we want them to be productive. A toilet of 24 people. Is it fine with you? It's an insult. It's like you are putting these workers to feel that they are not an independent country.
No, I
This is an environment which was fought by our forefathers. Ne? When our forefathers were fighting, they were fighting for these harsh conditions.
My days were made a little brighter when I saw that South African men have marched against the brutal killing of women and children, and another community also gathered to march against the murder of farmers in that country. Windhoek residents have reported some nasty brown water flowing from their taps. The city of Windhoek claims that residents can just drink up and that the discoloration of the water is caused by elevated levels, especially of iron and manganese, in the borehole water from the aquifers. This week on Cecilia Says.
Oh, that was water. Yeah. This man is going to see this. You're not serious. The water is brown from the tap. From the tap. Now I have to drink this brown water from the tap. It's why we are getting sick. It's why the kids are always having diarrhea. It's because of this dirty water. The most important must do something because we cannot keep drinking this dirty water every day. It's now how many months now we are keeping drinking water, and the water is just brown. I'm not gonna drink this water, I'm serious.
The effervescent French ambassador Jacqueline Bassa-Mazzoni hosted a farewell reception at her residence this week, where a number of who's who's got together for a champagne-drenched cocktail party. The ambassador, who's a fantastic host, having served some of her country's finest cuisine and wine, will be missed, as can be seen by the great turnout at the event.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We gather here tonight to bid farewell to our dear ambassador, Her Excellency Jacqueline Bassamazoni, who is soon leaving us after a successful 4 years in Namibia.
We wish you all the best in your assignment. Let us wage peace for the betterment of mankind. And as a diplomat, I'm quite sure you are going to make a contribution. Thank you.
I hope Namibia, the best for Namibia, and I'm very confident. And I think all with my diplomat colleagues here, we support all the effort made by Namibia, by the business partners, the cultural partners, the political partners, I mean the members of the government and all the friends who are here. I have to say thank you. I was like at home. Honorable Deputy Minister, you said I am at home. That's true. Namibia now is my second home. So I have to take the nationality, maybe. And I have to say, Namibia, I love you.
We used the opportunity to get some Africa Day messages.
In the first place, to be patriotic, to have a love of their country, unity in Africa for the whole continent, and I think hardworking. This is something that we need to do, and this is what we need to take to the younger one.
So it's a day of remembrance, but it's also a day for us to renew our resolve for peace, stability, and investment in education training for our young people to have greater confidence in what Africa can once again do for humanity. I remain committed to those ideals.
A lot of things that happened to us historically is due to the fact that we were assisted by other African nations. Therefore, we will always remember that they are our brothers and sisters throughout the continent and respect that.
We must be united as Africans and making sure that what we have gone through, as the continent, is over. But anyway, now the time that has remained is to show to the world that we can also do it ourselves.
I wish all Africans, wherever you are, on the continent or in the diaspora, the best wishes. And let's make this continent the best continent, the cradle of mankind.
We would like to wish all Africans a blessed African Day. May Africa continue to be a continent that all can grow and aspire to be whatever they are. Happy African Day.
Yeah, hello everyone. I wish all my African friends a very happy Africa Day. Go out, enjoy it, and see you out there.
I'm from Namibia.
I am from DRC.
And on this day, we wish Africa
to always be united.
We also took to the streets to ask people what this day actually means to them.
Africa Day means the day that all African countries unite and celebrate the heritage and the cultures, the tradition, and just everything that they have in common.
I think the day probably represents like a day we all as Africans look at what Africa means to everyone that lives in Africa, whether from or visiting or have lived here for a certain amount of time. What does Africa mean to you? What has Africa done for you, and what are you willing to do for Africa, I don't think it should be one day though, because I'm not African one day of a year. So Africa Day should be generally every day.
Technically celebrates culture, embracing being African, because African people go through a lot of things. So having a day for us is, a big thing.
As it should be important for everyone, because throughout the whole of history, Africa's been in turmoil. From being colonized to getting independence, and even pre-independence, it's still a struggle, for every day. So it's important for people not to forget Africa Day, to at least stand where we are now and can say, this is what we've achieved, is quite important.
We also asked them what they make of the current state of the continent.
I think African continent is in a good state. We are developing. It's a developing continent. We are developing economically and socially also. It's a very beautiful continent with diverse cultures.
It's complete terrible. It's great that, you know, there's a lot of like development, you know, in areas that are being developed. Yeah, but it's also like terrible, you know, that we're still getting, if I'm allowed to say this, raped as Africa. That has not changed, you know. It's not like we're earning all that we could and should be earning from whatever is Africa in terms of minerals and support and capacity. I'm sure we could do a lot better. Mainly the black community, just to be like frank about that. So a lot of improvement. I think the state of our continent could be a lot better. I think wherever it's being developed is being developed mainly in urban structures, but the majority of poor Africa or impoverished Africa is still impoverished. You know, just because we have cell phones now doesn't mean I have food.
Some other nonsense that went viral this week is one of a pastor who claims to have God's cell number.
Hello? Yes, Father. Is this heaven? Yes, Father. Is it heaven? Yes, Father. I have a woman here. Yes. What do you have to say about her? Oh, I should ask her, who is Sibo? Sibo. Who is Sibo? Okay. All right. Okay. What else, Papa God? What else, Papa God? God is telling me to ask you, why is it He's showing me a heart?
This week on The Shift, I tried my hand at hairdressing at a white hair salon nogal. Check it out.
My name is Believe.
Nice to meet you.
Studio.
Thank you.
So this is going to be your time for the day.
Oh, wonderful.
This is the boss's apron.
Oh.
We're going to step into some bigger shoes today.
Where do I have to just like that?
Okay, and then you just do it. This here is Sarah.
Hello.
She's going to show you the
How to wash hair.
how to do everything.
Okay, awesome.
Miss Andrea, you can
Just sit in the bed. See, I didn't have dolls when I was a child. I didn't do all this Barbie stuff.
What look do you want today? Do you want volume? Do you want sleep? What do you want? Nice. It's not go go. A little bit of volume. A little bit. Okay. So then we move on. We always have the best. We're gonna use a mousse just to enhance that body, and then the next thing that we're gonna use is a heat protector so that it doesn't damage the hair. So this is GHD's range of heat protect, and then this one. If you really love your job and you have a passion for it, you don't think as if as if a job. You would think as if it's your talent and it's something you do to make people feel better about themselves. So I started studying. I studied at Stellenbosch Academy. I studied at Stellenbosch Academy. So I studied for a year. And then I just jumped into the industry, in Ventures. I've been doing it for 2 years and a half. It's not as long, but as I said, if you have a passion for it, you do more and you do more to accomplish more. this job isn't easy at all, that I would say. The training was tough for that year, and having to work at so many different places, but at the same time.
Tell me now, how do you keep yourself abreast of the latest trends and fashions and all that, and how do you decide for a client like this is the best cut for you, or do they tell you what they want?
Well, sometimes the client will come in, most of the times they come in with a picture and they want to look like a picture.
What's the latest hair trend? Like, what's cool?
The latest hair trend for women now are the balayage. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the balayage is where it starts gradually from dark to light ends, where the ends go really light. And I should say the really light hair, the platinum, blonde, the grey, it's really in now. And for the men, it's the classic fade. So it goes from short to a bit longer. It's in now.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me today.
It's the biggest
pleasure. It was a very eye-opening experience.
Thank you.
I will stick to my computer desk job. That's the one for me.
And as you can see, I am ready for a night out in town. Okay, that's a wrap.
This video of a traffic cop attempting to direct traffic was shared quite a bit on social media. In the spirit of Africa Day celebrations, the It's a Rap crew took to the streets and asked Namibians why they're proud to rep Africa.
I'm very happy to be an African. It's a very nice continent. I like the food, I like the cultures, I like everything, the people. It's a very nice continent. I love Africa.
The people themselves are such cool people, and that's what I really like. You can go, you just go out of town a bit and you go and visit the village people. There's so much they can tell you, there's so much they can educate you about. You know, it's just an amazing continent. It's a beautiful continent.
What I like about Africa is that we have diversity, you know, whether it comes to food, fashion, hairstyles, anything. We have a bunch of diversity, and that is a beautiful thing about Africa.
Potential for growth. If we are working together for this growth. I'm sure it's not that easy, but that's what I love. You know, and I love the people. You know, when we're not focusing on the bad and the ill that's going on. You know, the people do have they're quite positive, vibrant, and I think we inspire the world. You know. In terms of our African and our Afro ideas and our Afro feelings, the beat of Africa per se. So those are some of the things that I love, you know, being black.
And finally, we bid the Ambassador Jacqueline Basamazoni a bon voyage and wish her well upon her return to France. We look forward to welcoming her back in Namibia soon.
You are watching It's a Wrap, One Africa Television.